With the imminent end of Spanish regime amounting with about 333 years of colonization, the Filipinos was almost able to reach the freedom and sovereignty they fought for. But there will be numerous events before we can reach the true independence that the Filipinos sought.
As we move on from the different historical periods, we will focus on the birth of the Philippine independence, the Malolos Constitution, and the First Philippine Republic.
Join us as we expose ourselves in the Philippine history. Before we dive in further in these specific events, let us know more of the author, which is none other than Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista y Altamira. He is also known as Don Bosio. He was born on December 7, 1830 at Biñan, Laguna to Gregorio Enriquez Bautista and Silvestre Altamira.
He attended preparatory school in Biñan and studied at the University of Santo Tomas, obtaining a degree in law in 1865. He then practiced law in Manila and offered free legal services to poor clients, which made him popular with the peasants. He became a member of the propaganda movement like many intellectual Filipino patriots, where he solicited funds for the campaign to be used for political reforms for the Filipinos. On July 3, 1892, he became a part of La Liga Filipina, which was founded by Rizal in the house of Doroteo Onghunco at Elias Street, Tondo, Manila. But this organization did not last long, as Rizal was arrested 3 days after its foundation. During the dissolution of La Liga Filipina, Bautista became a prominent member of the Corpo de Compromisarios, which was formed by conservative members which pledged to continue supporting the Los Solidaridad, while the radicals devoted themselves to the new secret society, Katipunan. When the Filipino Revolution broke out, he was imprisoned at Fort Santiago of his involvement in various patriotic organizations. But a brilliant lawyer has took his case and he was released. He then went into hiding at Malabon and the authorities would not have the success of finding him. He also wrote for La Independencia, which was a nationalistic and very influential newspaper during the post-independence period, which first published on September 3, 1898. As Governor-General, Fernando Primed de Rivera proclaimed a general amnesty in accordance with the Pact of Biak-na-Bato. Bautista availed of it and returned to his hometown. On May 9, 1898, Governor-General Basilio Agustin instituted a policy of attraction aimed at dousing the fervor of the revolution. Bautista became one of the members of Consultative Assembly with the power to deliberate and give advice to the Governor-General. When Bautista learned that Aguinaldo had returned to Cavite on May 19, 1898 with the Hong Kong junta, he promptly went to see him to offer his service and then became his advisor. Believing that a constitutional government would not be viable because of the turbulent conditions at that time, he advised Aguinaldo to establish a dictator regime instead. Subsequently, he was appointed Auditor General de Guerra and was asked to give advice on proposed constitution prepared by Mariano Ponce in Hong Kong. After studying the Ponce Constitution, Bautista persuaded to delay its implementation. On June 14, 1899, he succeeded Pedro A. Paterno and was elected President of the Revolutionary Congress when it convened in Tarlac as Premier and head of the cabinet. He was appointed judge on the Court of First Instance in Pangasinan after the Philippine-American War ended. On December 4, 1903, at the age of 73, he died of a fatal fall from a horse-drawn carriage.
Now that we know of his life, here are some facts and trivia about Bautista's life. While he was on his way to Malolos, Bulacan, he was captured by bandits. But as they've learned of his identity, they apologized to him and released him, for he had saved people that they are familiar with. And he defended the weak against those who has power. Not only did he author the Declaration of Philippine Independence, but also become the delegate to read it on the Proclamation of Independence Day. And contrary to what was also believed, that Aguinaldo was the one who waved the flag on that day, it was Bautista actually who had the honor of waving the flag, not on the balcony, but from the window of Aguinaldo's house, although it was Aguinaldo who unfurled the flag.
Before we move to the succeeding events, let us first talk about the Philippine flag. On December 14, 1897, General Emilio Aguinaldo visited the Agoncillo residence in Hong Kong. General Emilio Aguinaldo requested that Doña Marcela Mariño de Agoncillo immediately hand Sue a flag according to his design, which would embody the national aspirations of all Filipinos.
After receiving this request, Doña Marcela Mariño Agoncillo dedicated her the eldest daughter, 5 years old Lorenza Mariño Agoncillo, and Mrs. Delfina Herbosa Natividad, Dr. Rizal's niece, by his sister Lucia, to help her make the first Philippine flag. On May 28, 1898, the Philippine flag was the first unfurled after the Philippine Revolutionary Army defeated Spanish forces in the Battle of Alapan. During the session of Malolos Congress, Aguinaldo presented the symbols of the official flag. The red is symbols of the Filipino courage, which is second to none. The blue carries an allegorical meaning that all Filipinos will prefer to die before submitting ourselves to the invaders. The white is conveys the idea of Filipinos knows how to govern themselves. The sun and its rays stirred up Filipinos and spread the light over the world. The stars represent the three major Philippines islands. The flag is more elaborate than the flag which is currently in use. It bears the embroidered word Libertad, Justicia, and Igualdad, meaning liberty, justice, and equality. And on the other side, Huertas Expedicionarias del Norte de Luzon, meaning Expeditionary Force of the Northern Luzon.
The Act of Declaration of Philippine Independence was written between May to June 1898 and was read by Ambrosio Bautista in Spanish and translated by Sulpicio Guevara. This was commissioned by Emilio Aguinaldo. On August 1, 1898, it will first be ratified at Bacoor, Cavite and will be officially ratified by Malolos Congress on September 29, 1898.
This was presented on June 12, 1898 around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the afternoon at Aguinaldo's home at Tawid, Cavite, along with it, the official unfurling of the Philippine flag, along with the March of Filipina Magdalene, as the national anthem, which was composed by Julian Felipe and played by San Francisco de Malabon Marching Band. The declaration was a document which summarized the reason behind the revolution against Spain, the war for independence, and the future of the new republic under Emilio Aguinaldo. The declaration was also signed by 98 persons. The purpose of the document is to proclaim the sovereignty and independence of the Philippines under the colonial rule of the Spanish Empire. However, this declaration was never recognized by the United States or Spain.
Now, let us take a look at the life of Felipe Gonzalez Calderon y Roca. He is also known as the father of Malolos Constitution. He is born on April 4, 1868, Santa Cruz de Malabon, Cavite, to Jose Gonzalez Calderon and Manuela Roca.
Calderon was the author of the Malolos Constitution, which was enacted on January 20, 1899, by the Malolos Congress that established the first Philippine Republic. In 1899, Calderon founded two law universities. These are the Colegio de Abogados de Manila, or School of Lawyers of Manila, and Escuela de Derecho, or School of Judice. He died on July 6, 1908, at the age of 40.
On June 18, Aguinaldo issued a decree formally establishing his dictatorial government. Apolinario Mabini, Aguinaldo's closest advisor, opposed Aguinaldo's decision to establish an autocracy. On June 23, Aguinaldo issued another decree, this time replacing the dictatorial government with a revolutionary government. Along with this was the legislative body, which is the Malolos Congress, where members were elected from June 23 to September 10, 1898.
The Malolos Congress was opened on September 15, 1898 at Barroso 1 Church in Malolos, Bulacan. In the same event, a committee was elected to draft a constitution for the Republic. On December 10, 1898, Spain ceded the Philippines to the United States in the 1898 Treaty of Paris that ended the Spanish-American War. After the promulgation of the Malolos Constitution on January 21, 1899, replaced the revolutionary government with the Philippine Republic. The Malolos Congress became the legislative branch of the government, designated in the Constitution as the Assembly of Representatives. One of the most notable articles was separation of the state and the church. On February 4, 1899, the Battle of Manila started when the shot fired by an American soldier signaled the start of the Philippine-American War. On March 23, 1901, Aguinaldo was captured. On April 19, he issued a proclamation of formal surrender to the United States, telling his followers to lay down their weapons and give up the fight.
The independence that the Filipinos are longing for would not be reached easily. Instead, it would restart again, but this time with a different colonizer.
On July 1, 1902, Henry Allen Cooper Philippine Organic Act is the approval of the act coincided with the official end of the Philippine-American War. Next is the Philippine Autonomy Act of 1916, a statute announcing the intention of the United States government to withdraw their sovereignty of the Philippine Islands as soon as stable government can be established, followed by the Philippine Commonwealth and Independence Act of 1934, wherein the U.S. statute provided for Philippine independence after a 10-year transitional period of Commonwealth government. Following the end of the World War II, the United States granted independence to the Philippines on July 4, 1946, the Treaty of General Relations and Protocol.
As Filipinos who are living today, it is our duty not only to study the past, but also to remember it, as it will help us understand why things are made the way they are. Awareness of the history of our country does not only help us recognize the Filipinos who fought for our country, but it also give us an idea on how they want our country to be.
May we learn from this past and also learn to move from it so that we as a country can move forward.
Let us continue to expose ourselves in Philippine history.